We cannot truly understand what it is to have a relationship with Jesus without understanding pain. Because of everything that God the Father went through, separating himself from his own Son on the cross, and not just that, but everything since the beginning of time, watching his creation fall apart, fall into the hands of the wicked because of man's choices. And Job is just a huge book. There's so much in here that really reminds us of those things. I know that it was going to have this one yesterday, but I think it was meant for today, even though day 71 would have been yesterday, May 12th, March 12th, but we're going to just go into Job 17, 18, and 19 real quick. My spirit is broken, my days are extinguished. The grave is ready for me. Are mockers not with me? These are the words of Job, praying for relief, praying that, his name would be restored, that his life would be restored, because he felt so shattered and broken and alone and destitute, making my bed in darkness. And then you have one of those so-called friends, Bildad, in chapter 18, coming back and just shooting all these flaming arrows, thinking he's so wise in himself. And we need to be careful not to be those kinds of people, those kinds of friends, those kinds of counselors who sit there and throw barbs thinking we're doing a great thing. Throw those poisonous arrows thinking they're really healthy and helpful. They're not always the way they should be. That's why it's important when we're counseling to pray. I heard once someone said, I don't need to pray about it. I already know what God wants me to do. And okay, anytime you take God out of the equation, you're doing it wrong. You're doing it wrong, and you're going on dangerous territory. You need God. You need him in every step of your life. All the decisions you make. If you're writing a letter to somebody or you're about to talk to somebody about an issue, pray about it first. Or at least talk to a spouse or a colleague or somebody that you trust in the Lord that can help you with that. Chapter 19 is one of the best. It has one of the best passages of the entire book and of the Old Testament, in my opinion. But he's praying, he's talking out, he's saying, how long will you torment my soul and break me into pieces with words? These 10 times you've reproached me, are you not ashamed that you've wronged me? For indeed I have erred, my error remains with me if I have erred. And he goes on from there in a whole long, I was going to say soliloquy, but it's long. It says, verse 23, oh, that my words were written. Oh, that they were inscribed in a book, that they were engraved on a rock with an iron pen and lead forever. For I know that my Redeemer lives, and he shall stand on the rock. Sorry. He shall stand at last on the earth. After my skin is destroyed, this I know, in my flesh I shall see God. It's a declaration of a resurrection. That's what it is. In the Old Testament, a declaration of God resurrecting us, even after death. That's a huge promise. It's a huge, exciting, hope-filled thing for Job to even comprehend. For that moment, in my flesh I shall see God. I think Job has written probably one of the oldest books we've got in the era of Abraham and in that whole time period. We don't exactly know for sure when it was written, but it was in that area of time. It's amazing that he sees that majesty and power of God. Realization that God is working, has a purpose. We can't see the whole tapestry. We can't see the whole thing. It's like a little tiny ant crawling on a huge mural on a wall. And that little tiny ant may be crawling across this little red splotch that is actually like a 13 by 13 heart or something. And then it'll move on to a green little thing. We can't see the whole picture. It's impossible. There's a poem I came across. I really love this. It is great. I'm going to end with this. When God wants to drill a man and thrill a man and skill a man, when God wants to mold a man to play the noblest part, when he yearns with all of his heart to create so great and bold a man that all the world shall be amazed, watch his methods, watch his ways, how he ruthlessly perfects, who he royally elects, how he hammers him and hurts him, with mighty blows converts him into trial shapes of clay, which only God understands, while his tortured heart is crying, and he lifts beseeching hands, how he bends but never breaks, when his good he undertakes, how he uses whom he chooses, with every purpose fuses him, by every act induces him to try his splendor out. God knows what he's about. I thought that was a good message from Job to us today. And a lot of thanks goes to Chuck Missler for putting out that poem in his notes for us. Anyhow, there's so much amazing things ahead. God bless you, my friends.